Hi, I just want to start off this presentation by thanking you for everything you've taught us throughout the semester. I've used almost everything that you've taught us in my classroom, or at least tried it to see if it would work. And most of the time it does work. You're an amazing teacher, and I love how you give the same 3 assignments every week. It's easy to control, I guess. And it's less stress on me from working 40 hours with the children to coming home and doing classwork. It's just a lot, but your class has been amazing. To my presentation, the topic I'll be discussing today is confidentiality. When I first learned about confidentiality, I thought it was just don't share your address or your phone number. But as I grew up, I started to learn more details about confidential information, and it is such an important topic that needs to be discussed to protect families, kids, me, you, everybody. So what is confidentiality? Confidentiality is personal details from our lives that we don't want to share with others. This can be your address, your phone number, your birthday, your employment history, or other personal information. Each individual has a right to keep information private. If this information somehow does get exposed to the outside world, call the local enforcement, police officers, and tell them about your situation, and they will be there to help. How is confidentiality related to childcare? When a child is entered into a school, there are many, many, many pages of paperwork that the parents have to fill out. In early childhood education centers and programs, it is the school's legal responsibility to keep the informational forms safe. This is sensitive information that protects families and children that are enrolled in schools' programs. Laws that protect families' confidentiality. There are 2 main laws protecting each child and family's confidentiality. The first law is FERPA, or Family Educational Rights and Privacy. This act allows access to family and child records. With receiving parental consent, teachers or administration can enroll a child into a program to help a child's learning or behavior. The second law is the Drug Abuse Office and Treatment Act. This law protects information about drug and alcohol treatment separate from their school records, even if they are confidential. These laws are meant to protect each child and family from the possible worst outcome. If you hear or notice someone in your facility looking or telling a coworker about confidential information, contact your director. Next, how is confidential information stored? All confidential information is documented, stored, and handled with proper authorities. The proper authorities would be the owner of the school, the director, and head teacher of the child's classroom. When the documents are not in use, they should be stored in a locked filing cabinet. Make sure it has a lock on it to ensure no one can get access to personal information of the children and families. What is in a confidential folder? In every classroom, a teacher gathers data about each child. It could be their skills or development that is happening or subjects that the child is struggling in. This data should be kept confidential until the family confirms that it can be shared with other professionals. The other documents are enrollment forms, family insurance, authorization for who can pick up the child, and medical logs. Exceptions to confidentiality. When disclosing information from a confidential folder, it is appropriate when it's a need-to-know situation by a staff member. This is to provide the child with safety and health according to records. Another exception is if a teacher has a reason to believe a child is being abused or neglected. This is a time where a child's health and safety is the most important thing on a teacher's mind. Lastly, when required by law or directed by court is the only time a teacher can share information about a child or family without consent. Only legal. Releasing confidential information. This is a big one. When releasing confidential information, the data should be kept confidential. It should be kept confidential until the family confirms that it can be shared with other professionals. The families of the children make all the decisions on what can be shared and who it can be shared with. The teachers and administration are the ones who keep the information private. When sharing this information with another person with family consent, the document must only be shared with that person and put away right after the needed information has been shared. Children sharing confidential information. This is a very hard concept. When it's needed or at the beginning of the school year, teachers should inform the students that sharing personal information to non-family members can impact them or their family's life. If you hear a child telling other children personal information, just give them a reminder that this information is only for them and their relatives. When a child is sharing personal information, inform the families about the situation. Explain to them how you responded to the situation, because the parents need to know what their child was saying and how it might affect their lives. Next. We got resources. This concludes my presentation about confidentiality. I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for teaching an amazing class. Happy summer. Maybe you'll be my teacher at some other point in time. Bye.